That's all I've had every single day. Every day.
So here we are once again. It's the 2024 Pre-TT Classic race weekend. And what a selection of historical pieces of machinery we have behind us. Some amazing riders, fantastic team setups. But wow, we've got some beauties over here. We've even got one of only 4 Manx Nortons in the world racing here, which blows my mind. The smells, the sound, the community here. I'm so excited for this to get going. We're going to chat to some incredible people and get to really eye up some incredible pieces of history. So let's get going. It's Two Wheeling Classics. So we're here with Mr. Paul Cassidy. He's a Manxman. He's got 2 great bikes behind us we're going to get to in just a moment, but we've got to touch on that Superman, haven't we?
Yeah.
So at the Northwest, you have gone viral because of that incident where, of course, you kind of turned into Superman for a very brief moment and healing well, though, which is great to hear.
Yeah, healing well. Legs, the bruising's gone down massively now, to be honest with you. Just got a little bit of swelling on the bottom of my shin. Toes are a little bit sore, hips a little bit sore, but yeah, you know, we've tried 2 weeks now to try and get it all sort of calmed down a little bit, and it's worked. You know, we've tried lots of stuff, creams, all sorts of stuff, and yeah, it's good to actually get rid of the bruising. It doesn't look so bad, but hopefully try it today and just see what it's like. Just rubbing on the inside of the boot and touching the inside of the frame might cause a little bit of a problem, but I think we'll grit the pain after what we've been through, to be honest.
And how are you finding and coping with this newfound fame?
Yeah, I feel like a rock star, don't you? Yeah, every man and his dog seems to know who you are. It's mad. Yeah, it's not really me, to be honest. Usually quite quiet and sit in my van and hide out the way of it all. But yeah, you just got to take it in stride, just enjoy it, embrace it. You don't get that sort of stuff normal, do you? You know, like I say, you're never gonna, probably took a lot of the limelight, I suppose, off some of the Northwest superstars, as they say. And yeah, it's just nice. It's nice. Everyone enjoys it. Everyone's had a laugh. You know, we live to tell the tale. We all have a crack. It seems to be the highlight of the conversation, shall we say, everywhere we go. So yeah, why not?
Well, listen, let's bring it back to here then. So we're at the Pre-TT Classic. It's such a special event, isn't it? The friendly races coming here, great organisation, and then the bikes that you are riding. Give us a little rundown of what you've entered in. Of course, a Manxie being on a Norton as well is pretty special.
Yeah, it's very good. We're on Kevin Flynn's 500 Norton. I haven't even sat on it yet, to be honest with you. We haven't done anything, I haven't done track day on it. So first time on it, we'll be going down the road here. It is a immaculately prepped bike. You know, it's a lovely looking bike. You know, it's probably one of the best I've seen, to be honest with you. And then we've also got David Green's S-Rad 750. It was built by Gab Brown. And then Mr. Green bought it off him this year, and he wants us to ride that at the Manx Grand Prix as well with the Norton. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be an enjoyable season. And
you've got such a busy TT. It's good prep for you, but also, you know, you kind of think, wow, you've got a big 2 weeks ahead.
Yeah, we've done a lot of running around. Obviously, going from this paddock to the other paddock, setting up the main sort of setup at TT paddock and all the board and you know all the stuff that they all want to see, the fancy parts, isn't it? Whereas here's a little bit more normal, a bit more clubly. You know, you got an awning and you just crack on with it. You push your bike for a muddy field, and you just crack on. But no, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be busy. We need to be busy. We need to be on the bikes. Looking at the weather forecast, it doesn't look too busy. It's going to be a few wet days and a few sitting out, looking out the awning and drinking cups of tea. But yeah, you know, it gives me a bit of time to rest the leg, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So if there was a classic bike that you could get your hands on and race, what would it be that you haven't already?
Pretty much on them.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything really I've ever thought, you know, I'd love to get my hands on that. But like so that there, you know, you're not going to get anything better, are you? I think, you know, we've got a good package under us there, to be honest. And the main goal is the Manx Grand Prix. We want to push on the door for that. So that is really here is just like a test day. And then we know what we're going into then for the Manx Grand Prix.
Mega. Well, listen, all the best. If you join me in doing a two-wheeling classics. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm joined here with Mr. Harley Rushton, who's got quite the selection of bikes he's entered to the Pre-TT Classic. Harley, welcome back. So we chatted to you last year as well. You like returning to this track?
Yeah, obviously last year was my newcomer year, so we came here with no intentions as such, just to enjoy myself, and I think the weather helped, but I massively enjoyed myself last year. Got top newcomer in the 350 race. We just came with the one bike, the 350. So this year I've made a big push to come back, and thankfully Ted agreed, and we've come back with 2 bikes this year. So we've got the 350k4 that I raced here last year, and we've got a matchless G50 4-valve, which is a little bit of a special machine really, and Ted spent all winter tinkering with it and titivating to try and get it ready, and this is its first run out. About Ted Wolf, who runs and owns the bikes, he was working on it for other people. Angela Cragg and John Cragg were running it for a couple of years, and they actually ended up asking me to have a run out on it at Castle Combe, which I did. But it just had a multitude of problems with getting oil into the engine. It kept seizing, and Ted got to the bottom of what them issues were, and now hopefully, fingers crossed, it's as good as it's ever going to be. Like I say, he's spent all winter, he's changed parts in the engine, the big end shells, he's upgraded them because he found that was one of the problems for the conrod seizing and the crank seizing up. So we had a run out at Anglesey with it last month, and it did a full race meeting, ran faultlessly, so that's a good omen really. So he stripped the engine down after that, checked for everything, and everything was as expected. So he rebuilt it back together and coming here confident that it's going to perform well in the races. Just a little bit different to the Manx Norton. It's a lighter frame, it's a Sealy frame on it, the whole bike's a little bit lighter, and obviously it's the special because most G50s you find a 2-valve, whereas this is a 4-valve version. I think there's 2 of them ever made, so yeah, it's a bit of a special one-off bike, and it's a privilege to be able to ride it, to be honest.
Amazing. And what about the other bike?
The other bike's a bike I've campaigned at the CRMC Classic Racing Championship back in the UK for 10 years now. Ted bought it as a frame and a separate engine, and we built it up, and I went racing on it in 2014, I think it was. We've changed loads of things on that over the years. I've won 5 classic championships on that. For me, it's like putting an old pair of slippers back on, getting on that bike. It doesn't matter what I ride, I can go to a race meet. If that's side in the corner, I jump on that, and it's just instantly, I feel like at home on it. I know what it's going to do, how it's going to behave and perform, so I'm looking forward to getting back out on that again here.
And why bring it back here? Obviously you had a great year and you enjoyed it, but why this course, and why bring it here when you've had so much success everywhere else? And why are you attracted to the Ballown course so much?
I think what happened last year was I thought I'd done Oliver's Mount Road races before, and I thought I really fancy giving this a go. And after the first practice I came in, people said, "What did you think of it?" And I'm like, I think I've caught the bug now. I'm like, it feels so wrong, but it's like you shouldn't be allowed to do that on the roads, even on these slower classic bikes. It's just like the fact that you get given a closed road and can go out and go as fast as you want, and all your senses are so much heightened. Like you can smell everything. You can smell if someone in the crowds cooking the burgers on an evening practice or something. And it was last year we were blessed with the weather quite a bit, so it was all very rose tinted, and I thought I want to go back and do that. So it's been the big thing to put back on my calendar this year, to come back here and do the pre-TT classic races.
Great. And it's such a great crowd it draws in, isn't it? Known as, of course, the friendly races.
Yeah, it draws in a really good crowd, and of course the first road racing happens here on the Isle of Man every year. People are excited to see the road racing get going again, and I'm excited to get back out on track.
Brilliant. Well, listen, enjoy it, have fun, and all the best. And join me in doing a 2-wheeling. So I'm catching up with Manxman Marcus Simpson, who's entered here at the Pre-TT Classic. Marcus, it's so great to be back here, isn't it? Tell us how you're feeling about the friendly races.
Yeah, no, it's great. I loved the Ballown circuit on modern or classic machinery. I've raced here before on a Ducati 750 twin at this event, and obviously the modern stuff as well. And now I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully the weather holds up and be good to go.
And tell us a little about what you're racing here this weekend.
So the MGB Classic lads, Mark and Gary, have come over, and we've got a classic ZXR 750 Superbike Kawasaki. So I've rode it at Derby and Scarborough this year, and really starting to get there with it and starting to understand it. It's different to the modern bikes.
Okay, and how much time have you actually had on it then? Just Derby?
Test day at Derby, 2 races at Derby. We got the lap record while we were there, so it was nice. And then that was the first outing on it, and then 4 races at Scarborough, 3 races at Scarborough, something like that.
Okay. And who's been supporting you in bringing it together and actually building the bike for you?
No, so it's not my bike. It's nothing to do with me. The lads here behind us, Mark, Gary, and the mechanic there, that it's their bike and they manage it, and I come and stick my leg over it and do the fun bit. The bit that the bit that I enjoy, and yeah, this bit now is definitely not the bit for me.
And what makes you return to the Blount circuit? What keeps bringing you back?
It's just that I've grown up down here probably since I was six years old, watching my dad down here, and just as you said before, the friendly races. You know, any races down here, be the pre-TT or the Southern 100, it is the friendly races, the atmosphere, the vibe. It's fantastic, and the circuit as well. I really like it. It suits me quite well, I think, with some of the bits that are in it, and yeah, it's good. I like it.
And if there is a classic bike that you haven't ridden that you would like to ride, what would it be?
It would have to be an RC30 or a 45. I think probably the 30 for the sake that it was better, but I think it'd be pretty special to ride a 45 as well. But then in saying that, the Ducati that Dean rode at the Manx last year, that would also be pretty special. So I've not really thought about what I'd like to ride, to be fair, but yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah. Thank you. Have you joined me doing a two-wheeling? Well, I'm lucky enough to be here down at the Pre-TT Classic with Angela, stood with these beautiful classics. Not only classic bikes behind you, but also classic racing family and great history involved in it as well. So, Angela, first of all, tell us a little bit about the bikes, what you've brought here, and the history about building them.
So we've got a 250 Manx Norton, very rare. I think there's only about 4 in the world, and there's only one being raced. We built it in 2008, so it's not a bike with history. I'll not say it is, other than what I've put on it.
Yeah.
I had it here last year and it went all right, so we'll have another go. And then we've got a 350 Manx over there. Very similar, just bigger engine.
Wow. And bringing the Manx Norton to the Isle of Man to race in a classic race at the Blount circuit.
Yeah. This is the place for this bike. It's not very good on short circuits, it's a bit heavy, but get it wound up round here, it's the place for this bike.
And what draws you to this kind of circuit?
So I've been short circuit racing for 20 odd years. My dad's raced here, so eventually I was going to come and race here. Here I am.
Great. And let's touch on your dad then. So obviously it's a family affair.
Yeah, very much.
And he's here with you.
He's over there. He's my, shall we say, chief mechanic, or he does what I tell him to do. Mum's here as well. She's into it.
So it was just on the cards, wasn't it?
100%, yeah. It was never not going to happen.
So tell us when you first started racing.
2000.
Yeah.
Started doing hill climbs and sprints like that. Dad said, just get used to bikes and circuits without anybody else. So we did that for a bit and then just straight into racing. It's always been classic bikes.
Yeah.
I do have slightly modern bikes, but it's all about classic bikes.
And what is it, the attraction of it might seem obvious, but to you, from a personal angle, what is it about the classic bike that you stick with rather than going elsewhere?
It's because I can work on them. I build them. Dad does stuff on them, but I build them and I can do it. You can't do electronics with all modern super bikes. Couldn't do that in your shed at home. That's what Dad raced. It's just where my heart is. And Manx Nortons particularly.
And if there's something you haven't raced, a classic bike, but you would like to get your hands on racing, what would it be? It'd be a Manx Norton. Yeah. And that's what I've got. So, yeah, I am the luckiest person in the world. I love it. Brilliant. Thank you, Angela. Thanks for chatting to you. Just joining us doing the two-wheeler. So I'm here with Andy Hornmy with this fine piece of machinery behind me. Andy's returning once again to the Pre-TT Classic. We caught up with you last year here. It's such a great track, isn't it? Is it good to be back?
It's an amazing event. It's a great circuit and a great club, and they really promote a great event. You know, it's. I think last year we sport with the weather a little bit, weren't we?
Yeah.
I think we all went home sunburned last year. It's going to be very different this year, but you know, touch wood, the weather's sort of holding off, and hopefully we'll get a good run tonight, and tomorrow looks great. So yeah, all fun, all good fun.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you're racing.
So last year I was on the MV Augustas, the KMVs. This year we're not at the minute. The bikes are ready, but we just haven't had time to test them, so we're going to save them for later in the year. We've got some stuff in Europe to do with those. So I brought my own stuff this year. So we're out on the RPS Triumph Triple 750 in a classic superbike. We've got a little Honda 350 K4 in a Junior Classic, and then we've got a ZXR 750 in the superbike. So I'll keep you busy.
Woo! And I have to ask you this, I've been asking everybody. You've got a great selection of bikes that you've already raced.
Yeah.
You've got a great selection entered. Is there anything classic bike that you've never ridden that you'd really like to get your hands on?
Oh, that's a tough one, because I've been spoiled.
Yeah.
I have been spoiled. I don't think anybody in the paddock would disagree. I think actually, RC30 probably.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's an
Not the first
iconic
one to
bike.
say
Yeah, I
that.
bet I'm not. No, I think just a great bike, a really well sorted RC30. I think
Yeah.
would be well up there. Yeah.
Great.
But I'm a very lucky man with what I've ridden so far. So,
I know.
well, I realise that. That's the important thing. I realise that. So
Good.
it's good.
Well, listen, all the best. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll do.
And join me in doing a two-wheeler. Cheers, Andy.
Cool.
Thank you. So I'm with Adam McClean here. Adam, you're not shy of the podium here down on the Ballout circuit, are you?
No, I enjoy coming here, so yeah, it's a great circuit, and yeah, enjoying the spin out.
And what brings you back here on you?
Yeah, mainly it's a practice session for the Classic TT in August, so it's a good opportunity while we're here to come down here with the Classic bikes and get a run out, a bit of practice session on closed roads.
And tell us a little bit about what you're racing here.
Yeah, so I'm racing a 350 Honda and then a 500 Royal Enfield. So those are the two bikes I rode last year, and then I rode the 350 at the Manx Grand Prix. So the same again this year, riding the two bikes at the Manx.
What is it about the road racing that you keep coming back to?
Flip, I don't know. It's getting to be a habit just. Yeah, just been road racing for quite a while now. So it's hard to believe it's almost 10 years now from when I started this. So yeah, just it's just what draws us to it is the road. So.
And is there a classic bike, because you race all sorts over the years, is there a classic bike that you would love to race that you haven't raced yet?
Oh, that's a good one. You could be here all day if you went down that rabbit hole. But no, the 350 and the 500 that I have got in terms of classic bikes are very good. So yeah, I'm more than happy with what I'm riding at the minute. So it's good.
Brilliant. Adam, have a great one. Have you joined me in doing a two-wheeling classics? Well, I'm here at the Pre-TT Classic paddock, and Mr. Joe Yearsley, local boy, local track. How are you feeling about the racing this weekend?
Yeah, really excited. It's one of my favourite meetings of the year. It was our first ever road meeting only 2 years ago, so it's always going to be a special meeting to me. So to be back here again is always fantastic, on board the Mistral Classic Race Team Kawasaki, and some new additions. I've got on the 400 this year as well, which I've never raced, and the Flipwick motorcycles are all Enfield Bullet. So I'm a bit nervous because I've never raced them, and they take a bit of getting used to, but no, I'm really excited.
And so 2 years ago it was your first one here, but you ended up on the podium last year. I mean, what an achievement.
Yeah, no, it was good. Me and Jamie had an amazing battle, and it's a shame he's not here really this year, but there's still all the boys here that'll be fighting for it, and it'll be a close race again, I'm sure. So no, I'm really excited to get going.
Great. And tell us a bit about how the collaboration came together, you racing the bikes and bringing the team together.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to go racing for as long as I can remember, really. But with the financial side of things, like I knew I'd never be able to do it on my own, and my mum and dad would never have the money to do it. So I luckily, when I was 24, over a conversation at the pub, met Nick from spinarena.net, and here we are 3 years later, still chipping away. And this year we've invested heavily in a new R6 for the TT, which has been a big step for what we've been riding for the last 2 years. So no, everything's really good, and being local and having the support and fantastic sponsors, I couldn't wish for any more.
And finally, Joe, if there was a classic bike that you haven't raced yet and you would like to race on, what would it be?
I'd love to ride a 252 stroke, but Chris Palmer says I'm not allowed. But maybe one day.
Love it. Listen, thanks so much. Enjoy. You just joined me doing it. So I'm joined by Alan Overby here with his fantastic bike set up just behind us. Alan, you're not too shy of the podium here yourself. It's great to return to the Blount circuit.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favourites. Is
And what brings you back?
racing,
Yeah.
Isle of Man.
What is it about the circuit that obviously means so much to you that brings you back year on year?
I've been coming quite a while now, and I just like the road racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a good bunch of lads with us. Yeah.
And tell us about the bike that you brought here to race this year.
I've got three. I've got a 350,
Yep.
500, and a 400.
And tell us, so who helped you? Have you built the 350 yourself? Who's behind the 350?
Oh, the 350 and 500 belongs to Lindsay Hurst.
Yeah.
He's my sponsor with them two bikes. And the 400, Tony Leach sponsors me with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And how is can I even ask this question, if out of the three of them you would have a favourite one to ride that feels nicer around this circuit?
Yeah, I like the 500 and the 350. Not the same, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a classic bike that you haven't ridden, you haven't raced that you would like to?
I don't know. I think I've ridden them all, really.
Okay, well tell me, out of all of that you've raced, is there anyone that really stands out over the years that have been your favourite?
I rode an AGS 7.5 for Ripley Land. That is definitely my favourite bike. So I can't have that one now, so.
Well, listen, enjoy, welcome back, and all the best.
Yeah,
because
thank you.
just doing a two-wheeler. Yes. Thank you so much, Al. So I'm here with Mr. Mike Brown. Mike, welcome back to this Bland circuit. Are you excited about getting racing again?
Yeah, looking forward to it, yeah. It's nice to be back here.
And what draws you back to this particular course?
I'm not sure what draws me back. I've only been here once before, so I don't know. Look, it's when we're here and it's a road race, and look, it's another race. Might as well do it. So no, it's good to be here.
Getting you ready for the TT.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a little bit of bike time before TT, so it's good.
And tell us a little bit about what you brought here this weekend.
Know very little about it, to be honest. A Yamaha TX500, Davies Motorsport.
Okay.
Good bikes, proven bikes, so it was nice to get a run out and see what it's like. And riding there, Yamaha 750 as well, that we tried at the Manx last year, but we had a few issues, so we didn't get to race it. But we're just here to give it a run out again.
Right. And tell me, is there a classic bike that you'd like to get your hands on that you've never raced before?
I'm not sure really. I'm not that much haven't that much experience in the classics, but for this year at the Manx, I'm sticking with the Manx Norm with the New Zealand lads. But it's just nice to get a feel of Paul Jordan's riding this year at the Manx, so it's nice to get a feel of what other lads are riding as well. So.
Right. And let's touch on that Manx Grand Prix. It was a pretty spectacular Grand Prix in the end, wasn't it? What a great setup we had with those boys.
Yeah, they put in a big effort, them New Zealand lads. They come a long way, and like unexpectedly from everyone, their bikes are really fast, and they'd never been here before. So they learned a lot in the last 2 years, and hopefully third time lucky, because we were nearly there the last 2 years. So just a bit of luck, we might get there this year.
Great. Well, listen, have a great weekend.
Yep.
You just joined me doing the two Wheeling Classics. Nice one, Mike. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
So we're here with Mr. Andy Farrell. Andy, welcome to the Pre-TT Classic.
How's things? All right?
Great.
Oh.
Great to have you here.
Yeah, delighted to be here. It's been a few years since 2019 was the last time I was here, so yeah, it's good to be back. It just wish it's a bit warmer.
Yeah, I know, right. Well, tell us what brings you back. So it's such a great community here, isn't it? But what in particular is really got you drawn back to this circuit?
This bike. This bike. No, I've been given the opportunity to ride this, and you know, this is a great meeting, you know, and it's just giving me more track time in the bike, get used to it, and a bit of a feel for it. You know, I go the classic TT on it. You know, and like, you're amongst all your own here, as I say, with the classic boys and that, and it'll give you a good feel for the pace of the bike. Obviously, this is a very fast track, and it's bumpy. It's got everything that you need, you know. So we'll see how we go. It's still for a spin.
So tell us about this beauty, then.
I'm sworn to the Secrecy Act. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so CK Racing, Chris Key, he's put this together. It's a Ducati 851 SP2. A few trick bits on it, about all I could say. It's fast, you know, there's a lot there, there's a lot more in it if I need it. You know, he said he can develop it a bit more or give me more, but I just said, look, the way it is, it's fast enough. You know, it's a totally different thing to ride than what I've been used to. The V-twin, it's all torque. Power's all down low, and you know, it's a bit frightening coming out of a corner. You just open the throttle a little bit and it's gone. You know, so I'm conscious of the value of it,
and I'm conscious that I don't want a high side either.
Yeah.
Not that it'll last, I wouldn't last either. I'd break just as easy. So, yeah, it's a beautiful bike, you know. And as I say, being here in this paddock is a great place to be.
And great to have Chris Keane and everyone in the crew around you as well.
Yeah, very lucky, you know. Chris is eager, you know. He likes to be in the background, and he just likes to see his bike out there, you know. Himself and Phil have put a great bike together. It's a very bespoke build, you know. A lot of time, effort, tears, blood, sweat, shouting, roaring. I say there's a lot of hours gone into it, you know. So I'm just grateful to get a chance to ride something like this, you know. It's not every day you get asked to ride it.
No, absolutely.
An Italian stallion.
So Italian stallion. So back for the Manx Grand Prix with this then?
Yeah, we're going to go to Armagh as well, back home. So it's somewhere. I've rode a classic superbike around Armagh before in the open class, but now that you have a race for this, I'll take it back there and see. I'll be more familiar with the track. I'll be able to push myself more on that track and then see what the bike is really capable of. Do that, and then we're going to go to the classic and just see how we go with the Manx. You know, it's all these guys want to finish, so I've no expectations, and you know, although they're beautiful, they don't really last too long sometimes. So if I can get this thing around and get it home, I'll be happy, you know. And so so that's the main thing for us. So I was going to finish.
Well, enjoy it, and
Thanks
welcome back. Just
Cheers.
join me in doing a two-wheeling. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you.